Hi everybody, this is the baseball head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and we are back, live, not live, but we're back here in New York, talking about our favorite team. Some interesting rumors out there today, but before we get into that, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut and like the video and leave comments. So, Mets lost again today, 2-1. Very strange things happened in this game, I gotta say. Oh my God. Carrasco again did not pitch. In my view, he didn't pitch effectively. He was out by the fifth inning. Again, you cannot continue to have your starting pitching be out in the fourth, fifth inning. It's just going to kill your bullpen, and that's why the Mets bullpen has struggled over the last month or so. I would point out that Kodai Senga pitched great yesterday against the Pirates. The Pirates, they're a pretty good team. I mean, this is a better team than the team that they played last year. And in the last few years, this team's pretty good. They can hit pretty good. They had really great starting pitching today. But, Kodai Senga pitched like an ace last night. He pitched like that in his whole career in Japan. And he proved that he can, come up when they need him to. So today, a couple of rumors now. So if you don't know about what's going on, obviously the Mets are trying to get a lot of stuff out there, talking about how they're being proactive. A lot of stories have come out. There was a big interview with Mets owner Steve Cohen. We'll get into that momentarily. But there were two big rumors that came out in the last few hours. One, there was a story about that after this season, that the Mets are going to hire Brewers executive David Stearns. His contract with the Brewers expires this year. He just stepped down as general manager, and he's just an executive. I don't know what he does now, but he's an executive there with the Brewers. And in all likelihood, the word is from Bob Nightingale that he is going to be signed by the Mets to do something in the front office. I know them, as you know, and I know the Mets have a vacancy with team president. They don't have a team president right now. And really, team president of baseball operations. Sandy Alderson was doing that a little bit over the last few years, and they couldn't find anybody. I know that they've been focused on Stearns for the last few years. He had worked for the Mets organization. He's bounced around. He's 38 years old. He's been in the Major League Baseball offices. He's worked for Cleveland. He's worked for the Astros, and obviously he's been with the Brewers. He was the general manager there. He's the one that made the big deal of Christian Yelich a few years back. Now, they said through this article that Billy Epler and Buck Showalter's jobs are both safe for the season. And as far as I read, and it's kind of the in between the lines that I've read with the owner. The owner has said that he's going to be very patient. But the article did say that if Stearns is hired, that those guys might not be here. That there's a question mark. Which would be an obvious thing, because if Stearns is coming in here wanting to build his own organization, he's not going to want to have a general manager that doesn't want in place and doesn't want a manager and an older manager to manage the team even on a 1-year deal. So that was one rumor. Here's another rumor that came out, and I just read it a few minutes ago, and this is from Carlos Baerga. Now, Carlos was former Met, former Cleveland Indian, former Marlin, whatever the hell. He bounced around after he left the Mets, but he's sort of a Instagram guy. Puts out a lot of videos on Instagram. His information isn't always there. Sometimes it's there. He said the Mets are going to definitely sign Carlos Correa when myself was saying that wasn't going to happen after the whole deal sort of fell apart and it was dragging out. So his credibility's a little shaky, but he says that the Mets are going to call up for the Yankee series Mets prospect Ronnie Mauricio, and then Mauricio will play second or left field for the Mets when he gets called up. I don't know. It's just a rumor. Obviously, everything's sort of up in the air with Pete Alonso being out. I don't know if it's smart enough to. Now, he has cooled off in the minors. He's not hitting like he did, but he did deal with got taken out of a game because he hurt his ankle and his knee in a collision at second base. But Um, it's interesting that they're putting a lot of stuff out there. A lot of these rumors are out there. And there was a big article about how Steve Cohen he doesn't want to blow this up. He wants to be very patient. Now, I will say this. I am not a success, not even a fraction of the success that Steve Cohen is. And he's done a great job, folks. He has done a great job over the first 3 years he's been owner of this team of really, building a relationship with us. So I'm going to trust him that he's doing the right thing. Now, there were some things that happened on Friday and obviously into Saturday that were positives. What was the big positive? The big positive that was that Buck Showalter had a clubhouse meeting, and that it was a very positive meeting. That needed to happen. You can't have a situation where your team is not performing well and they're getting down on themselves, and you don't speak up as a manager. That's a good sign for Buck. That's a very good feather in his cap. I thought that was very good for him, and very good for the team that he was able to. So that's where leadership comes in. When the manager says, "Look, we got to sit down and talk about it as a team," and they said that the meeting was very positive. That they got to play harder, work harder, and they'll get this done. I thought that was very important, and specifically after that bad series in Atlanta, losing Pete for a month, that was necessary. That needed to happen for this team to sort of move forward. Now, today's game, to get back to that a little bit. Now, I have an attitude about this team. We'll get to the game. I have an attitude. I'm still sticking to it. But I trust Steve Cohen that he knows more than I do when it comes to running a big business. So, we'll leave it there. But that's how I feel. You know how I feel with all these videos. So today's game. A couple of things. I noticed over the last 2 days against the right-handed pitcher that our buddy Daniel Vogelback has not been playing. He did not DH. He did not DH on Saturday, and he didn't DH on Sunday against the right-hander. That's important to keep an eye on. I would think that he's getting closer to the end here. I also saw that, and I think that cooler head should prevail when it comes to him. That he has the value that he may have had when they brought him in here is not here. He's not hitting right-handed pitching. He's not hitting for power. All he's doing is walking, and then after that, maybe he gets a single. And he sort of runs into a double once a month. Now, he's not hit a home run since April. So that tells you a lot about where he is at as a player. So he's probably got a couple. Half his body's probably out the door. That could be the move that the Mets make if they decide to call up Mauricio on Tuesday. But that's a rumor about Mauricio, just to keep that in mind. So Vogelback, I think, is pretty close to being out of here, which will make me happy because he's a useless player. If he can't play the field and he can't run, can't move, and if he's not providing any power or any kind of offense, that's a positive. Then his roster spot is being wasted. Now the Mets on Friday, after they announced that they were going to call up, they were going to send to the injured list Pete Alonso, they called up and brought back Luis Guillorme. Now, I said that Francisco Lindor needed a day off at shortstop, which he got on Saturday and was DHing. But Guillorme's terrible. And he showed it on Sunday. Now, I've been pretty cool about Buck and his moves. He made a weird move about, he pitched to Vladimir Guerrero a couple of weeks ago, and that's really set the stage for the 7-game losing streak, to be honest with you. That was that's really where everything sort of fell apart here. With those 7 games, in my humble opinion. But today, he has Mark Vientos playing against a right-handed starter, Mitch Keller. And Mitch Keller's pitched really well. He's 8-2. I tell you that the Pirates are really good. And in the 8th inning, Mets down a run. They need a home run. And the Pirates already went to the bullpen. Mets need a home run to tie the game up. Well, Vientos has power. He's got a reputation of hitting for power. So what does Buck do? He sends in Guillorme to hit for him. Now, even before the stupid shit that he did, I'm thinking, Buck, this guy, you want Vientos up. Why do you have Vientos here to hit for power? And he's had big hits here. I mean, the inconsistency about his playing time is just confusing. So, what happens to Guillorme? Well, he has a pitch violation. So, you know what happens on 2 strikes? He got called out. 3rd strike. 3 strikes, you're out. Why is Guillorme here? Aside from giving a rest for 1 day for Francisco Lindor, why is he here? He is a negative offensive player. He is a negative offensive player. Why is he here? And why are you using him to pinch hit when he doesn't have any power? If you're down two runs, and you wanted to get a guy up with a power hitter behind him, I could understand it. That's an obvious thing. You want to get a guy on that's going to get on base. It's fine. But you need a home run there to tie the game up. Guillorme has 0 power. No power. Why are you sending him up there? Why? Losing my voice. Losing my voice here. Why are you sending him up? Why are you sending him up in that spot? It made no sense. Now, they didn't hit against Keller. They only got 1 run against them. It's good to see that Jeff McNeil got another extra base hit. I wonder if he's really pressing to sort of justify his big contract that he signed in the offseason. He doesn't need to do that. Also, a little observation. I don't care for this new, thing that the team has been doing. They've been getting on base and they grab at their ass. Is that a way of saying "kiss my ass" to the people complaining about how poorly they played? Don't do that. That's not how a professional acts. It's sort of in the same realm as this. It's the same realm as this, folks. And I know that's why he was doing that. And it's the same realm as that obscene gesture that Pete was doing. It was almost like a screw you. That's what that is. Guys, you had the highest payroll in Major League Baseball history. You should not be playing this poorly. You have 2 Hall of Fame pitchers on your team. Prior to the injury, you had the best power hitter in the game. You had one of the best shortstops in the game. If you can't take the criticism, then shut the hell up. Don't be doing all these gestures to us, complaining, as a F you to us. I'm going to point something out to the players. I'm not going anywhere. Okay? As a fan, I'm going to be doing these videos. I have plans on doing these videos for the next 25 years. I'm not going anywhere. You guys, on the other hand, 2 years from now, this whole team will have a total turnover. If not next year. 2 years from now, Max Scherzer won't be here. Justin Verlander won't be here. Mark Cannon won't be here. Okay? So, I just want to point that out. So, for them, if they're doing this, don't do that. That's bad karma. And I noticed it last night when Cannon was hitting those doubles last night. Now, Cannon's played well, but we don't need this defiance against the fans. Because if you're like that, then you shouldn't be here. And that says a lot about this team and the softness of this team. And this is one of the things I've talked about. This has been a problem for the last 2 years. This sort of rabbit ears that this team has had about the criticism, in particular particularly from the fans. Now, I've been very easygoing on the Mets. I'm not WFAN, that is in business with the Mets. And every time, the Mets don't play well, like that dope Keith McPherson going after the Mets, using all the online cliches that he can find. I'm a fan. I follow the game. I follow all the teams as much as I can. I follow your team that you're playing on currently. I am not going anywhere as a fan. These videos are not going anywhere. So those gestures have to stop. Because I'll keep complaining about it. And this channel is getting bigger. And my voice is getting loud. My voice is always loud, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going anywhere. The players that are here, they'll be gone in a year or 2 or 3. 5 years from now, Pete Alonso might not be a Met. 10 years from now, he might not be a Met. Brandon Nimmo, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be with the Mets forever. Francisco Lindor could be gone in 2 or 3 years. You never know. Especially if he can't get his offense right the way it should be. Or the way it should have been back when he was with Cleveland. But anyway, just my observations about this team. Just my observations just in general. We're going to have to be patient, I guess. The owner has said it. I do have my reservations about a lot of stuff. The pitching coach, there's a lot of trouble there. Okay? I'm not a big supporter of him, and I'm not a big supporter of this hitting coach. I like Buck a lot, so I'm like I've been saying, very hesitant to say he has to go. I'll still keep that out there, but I'll defer to the owner. I'll also say that I don't trust Epler. It's got to be very careful who they trade when we get to the trading deadline. We'll keep an eye on David Stearns. We'll see if Ronnie Mauricio gets called up, and we'll just see how this goes. So, again, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and day. You'll hear from me in the near future. In the next few days, I would say, probably on Tuesday, Wednesday. Thank you, and I'll see you later.